Hi everyone, this week's video update starting out front. Mexican sunflower I got transplanted. The potatoes are growing strong. More shoots, gotta get more mulch for that. These ones up front. Zinnias are still taking their sweet time. This Nutrisum is starting to pop, getting bigger. Hopefully flowers will be way bigger by the time the cucumbers start showing up. Cucumbers are getting their true leaf over here. As you can see, you'll see clumps of hair. I brushed Jakey today and redid the fur everywhere. So, to keep things out from digging. These tomatoes here are getting big. The boards is getting even big. So, and then the basil that I sprinkled is starting to pop. So, trying all the different things I've been reading. So, all that fur kind of got up in that one. Oh well. So, okay, I'm letting that flower go. Mark already saw it. Sweet potatoes, so I've got the 3 Bogarts, and the final, I just put my final Hannah White out here, so got 3 containers of the Hannah Whites. I've got my 2 Mizukis, they have to come out, it's a Japanese white and a Japanese purple, they'll go there. So, but I don't have their slips aren't ready yet. I started cut off a lot of the frostbite. The pumpkins are starting to get it, they're grabby grabs, so I'm getting them towards the fence. So the sticks, yeah, I tweaked my back on Friday. I was cutting a lot of getting the weeds out. Well, I wasn't sure if it was me doing all the weeding or loading and unloading all this firewood from my friend Bobby. Probably the firewood. But my lower back is all messed up. Oh well. So I got more stuff starting to pop. So can't remember what it is. It's either a gourd, a melon. So, but that's how those are going so far. And of course, you know, sunflowers from the birds. The sun needs to finish going down. And these are starting to get close to the fence and grab. These canings are getting bigger. If I can get the critters to stop digging up the roots. They're doing that everywhere. So, but how those are going. These German Johnsons are getting bigger. And these Amishes are doing better. A lot better than last week. We had a couple days of rain, but then yesterday was supposed to be rain and thunderstorms, and it got nothing. It went north of us. Yes, the grass is long, but look, all the clover's out. So, some of my sunflower ring are starting to get their heads. So, yay. Time I get back from my niece's wedding, this thing will probably be full of flowers. So, just like those over there. More sunflowers. Wherever if one starts growing, I let it go. And if I don't kill it with a weed whacker, it stays. So, elderberry is really spreading out, and figs got more leaves. So, that's doing there. My dahlia is finally alive. Kayla yesterday said, "Is that a fake flower? I know it's a real flower, but it looks fake." I'm like, "It's a real flower. It's one of my dahlias." So, but yeah, the squirrels keep digging the roots up through here and in the back. So I know it's the squirrels because the birds aren't that strong to take the root and just leave it laying down. So, but yeah, all those over there are getting good. All right, kohlrabi. A lot of them are getting their true leaves here. But something that I know that's birds up in here. I caught the robin. She's digging all these up, looking for those worms. So, yes, the robin is to blame on some of these. Like, that sun. I waited. It's almost 7:30. All that is wildflowers, and I came out the other day and there was just holes. It's the robin. So I had to fill in holes here because her digging, looking for the worms. And then these tomatoes here are looking pretty good. Peppers, the bell peppers. So not many dug up through here, but there's still something still going in the garlic. Mark checked the camera and he said the only thing he's seen so far is just the tabby kitty that I call Mama Kitty. So got fur everywhere. So, but some of the elephant garlic that is surviving is getting nice and big and fat. So, but this whole side was elephant garlic, but whatever's trumping. So, but it's ninjas because Mark's not catching it on the camera. So we'll see when it's time to pull up. All right, since the sun is this way, I don't want to blind you all. It's getting later and later, but I'm tired and my back hurts. So I was like, got to get this done so I can go in and feed the dog and the husband. Now, this garlic is looking really good. And I do have a couple elephant garlic in here, but most of it's just basic garlic, smaller garlic cloves. So, but those are looking good there. My okra is starting to look a little better. It's starting to get its true leaf. And then this one there. That one's definitely got its true leaf. And these Mexican sunflowers are getting big. And that one's starting to first get its first head. It's starting to develop. So I'll be excited when those get really, really, really tall. Full of flowers. So, but those are getting there. My shadow. Dragon tail radishes are getting their true leaf. They'll get big and bushy. The butterfly bushes are getting their heads. Mark's radishes are coming along. So, yes, I know I need to mow. Let's go look in the back. Oh, we did do some stuff this weekend. This tree here, we cut all these lower limbs down because a lot of them were dying, but that way I could get the afternoon sun from my potatoes, cut all those down, and plus it stopped the birds from pooping on the car. And Mark's been cutting that up. Put it all here because we spent 2.5 days. We cleaned all this up, but you can't tell now because there's all the branches we've got to burn and stuff. So, but we got all that cleaned up and stacked. And then you're just barking to bark. Oh man, Jakey's in rare form today. Well, I brushed him for 30 minutes. But all the wood that was there, that's what I took to my friend Bobby. So, but we're stacking wood again from cutting those limbs. What? Don't you go out that fence. Mom didn't close it. But let's go check the garden here. Jake, there's a squirrel there on the ground. You better go get it. Alrighty. And the birds. Milkweed's getting big. And lilies, my cones, are all starting getting their flower heads. So I'm excited. I did get a couple of my moonflowers planted. I planted 12 seeds. 5 came up. 3 have lasted this far. So I'll go to 62 McCoy's to see if BJ has any moonflowers so I can get going because I got these new trellises. So yeah, that's going to be done the next couple of weeks. That wood and then that wood. But milkweed is getting good. I saw my second monarch and it was actually on one of these, but didn't have my phone, so I haven't checked to see if she laid an egg yet. But this milkweed is coming along, so I don't see any eggs. So, but the monarchs are coming back. Mark's raspberry bush full of raspberries. The sunflower and clover garden over there is getting big, and my canyons back there are all popping, and I haven't had any dug up, thank goodness, of those. So these potatoes are coming along. That one still hasn't popped yet, so I'm gonna. It's just taking its sweet time. I checked, their shoots growing, but they're just taking their sweet time. But these ones are starting to come. I got mulch on this one, but I ran out of mulch, cedar mulch, so I'll have to get some on that one before we leave. And these guys aren't ready yet. The sun. Go behind the fence. These peppers, there has been no murders this week between dog fur and my squirrel spray, but nothing has been decapitated by critters. And they're coming along. Challah, it's got last year's challah. It's starting to get flowers, so, but we don't eat those, but they go in everybody else's salsas. And then cherry eats are all getting big, and even my notapeno from last year has got full buds. So, yeah. So I've got a notapeno and a Carmen from last year, and they both have got flower and buds. So that's good. I'll have me eat pepper soon. So, but there, I know the sun, but I'm tired. Everything's coming along. Squirrel did dig into my eggplant, but I sprayed all that mulch with the squirrel away, so, and it hasn't gone back in there, so I'm happy about that. Zucchinis are kind of coming along. They're coming. These two are the best. So, yeah. Zinnias, come on. I got one. They were all planted at the same time, and only one big one's coming up so far, and a sunflower, thank you, bird. The Japanese cucumbers got their true leaf, and they're getting bigger, and all of Mark's whites, well, quite a few have popped, so he'll have whites eventually. And then I've been thinning out some of these extra ones and put them outside, but the critters destroyed. So a lot of them got their true leaves, and they're coming along. It'll be a couple months still, and then I'll start. Mark will have his fresh cucumbers, and I'll be making pickles. Birds got to the berries. Mark wasn't fast enough. Yeah, squirrel dug up my Thai basil. It was laying over here, and the hole was there. So I know that wasn't a robin. I got it planted, and I caught it in the morning, so it's not suffering too much. So, but, yeah. And there was holes right through here. So, oh, peanut. That's what, squirrel. That's why I know it's the squirrel doing this and not the robin. So, but I planted a bunch of Thai basil, and it's starting to pop. None of the sweet basil popped, so I'm going to spread some more sweet. Opal, dark basil's coming along. My lemon basil, taking its sweet time. The Genevieve and the cardinal are getting bigger. So, bee balm. Jamie, I am so jealous. You said your bee balm is getting their heads. Mine aren't there yet. So, Marcanians are doing good. All right, to tomatoes. They have improved. A lot of them are racing to the second and third line. There's some that I've left now. If they've hit the second ring, I'm letting them keep their flowers because Mark has seen them. So, yeah. But these are whites. Those I eat more of the whites because it's less acidy. But Mark saw his black crim the other day, so those are definitely staying. That's a big old one. Yep. So, and some of the Cherokees have got them too. So, like I said, Mark walked through. He saw who has flowers and who doesn't. My salvia is opened. I got really worried. I hadn't seen any honeybees or bumblebees the last few days, and I got really worried some idiot sprayed dandelions or something. But we had two big bumblebees on the salvia today, and they kept flying over where the zinnias usually are, but the zinnias aren't open up. But they really liked that. I'm glad everybody said to get it. Everybody said the bees like it. Well, the bumblebee spent a good 20 minutes on there. So, and the Amishes are finally not being so dramatic. They're getting tall, and they're growing. They're not weepy. Now, these these were some of the earlier ones, and their stalks are getting really big. And there's a couple flowers on these. So, that's the only problem with Amish. They give you so many tomatoes, and they're big. And I mean, I think the best paste tomato there is, but they just look so sickly and weepy until they get established and they get, past the rings. Because once they get top of these rings, they're not nonstop. So, but that's how those are. These herbs, they're coming along. My sweet marjoram and my other sages. So the garden and the Russian are doing really good. I got to give my chives a haircut. Lavender's starting to get her flowers, and rosemary is coming. And these sunflowers, I meant to pull out some of these teddy bears and transplant them, but my back was hurting. And almost all my straw flowers have opened. They sound so cool. They feel fake, but they're not. But the bees were going to town on all that pollen. They feel fake, but they're real. I love them. So, but that's how it is. It's coming along slowly but surely. Now, that was full buzz this morning. So, the bees were all over that. Well, I wouldn't really call them honeybees. It was like little tiny, tiny ones. But I didn't see any bumblebees until they were on the salvia. And they did like that. So, but it's coming along. Some of them, the birds have already been trying to pick through there, as you can see, getting their seeds. And the little finches have already gone to town on those. So, and of course, the squirrel murdered two of them because realized there were seeds there. But the problem is, the squirrels know there's seeds on the sunflowers, but they don't wait until they're ready. They just decapitate them, and it drives me nuts. So, but that's how it is. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. We went for Chinese food yesterday with the 3 kids, and yeah, we told them there was going to be no yard work because it was supposed to rain. Well, it ended up being beautiful, but both the boys were hurt. So, and Kayla was like, so we're like, no yard work, just come see the dog and come look at the garden. So, but hopefully I can get out here and get, once my back feels a little bit better, I need to transplant some of those borges. So, and then the squirrels did dig up these were bulbs that they started coming up, and they were murdered. So, I'll probably put some of the borage in there. So, and then get those around the garden, because those were some of my cannon lilies, but not the red. It was the pink, the orange, and the yellow. And only one survived, but the squirrel. So, I can't remember which one was in which bucket. So, I'll just put borage in there. And then when this one gets big enough, I'll figure out which one it is. So, all right. I'll get the sun. It's sun. I know I'm blinding y'all. And I'll just see you all next week. Oh, Cherish May. Nisi. This is what Auntie and Uncle use for our garden. The blood meal, the bone meal, and the fertilizer. Chicken pea. So when Roy gets you going, the blood meal and bone meal we get off Amazon because we like the bigger bags, and then the chicken manure we get from Tractor Supply. So you probably won't go through as much as Auntie and Uncle, but that's the brand that we use. So when Roy gets your garden going, kiddo, that stuff works good. So you can find it at Menards, but it's not as granulated. We like the real fine. We don't like the bulkiness of the other versions of it. That's why we like this one, and a little goes a long way. All right, y'all. I will see you next week. And hopefully all this will be finished and cleaned up. Trying to get it so our neighbors, when they water for us when we're gone, won't trip over. So, oh, and Mike, I know you're in Scotland still. I got you some sweet potatoes going, buddy. I just pulled those out of the house. They had good roots. And so when you get back, Mark's got sweet potatoes for you. All right, Al. I'll see you next week. Bye.